Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a Jujutsu Kaisen Sorcerer SUKUNA Shrine build guide in Baldur's Gate 3. This is a mod that was made by Harpsy22 and it's in the in-game mod manager. Now I'll be covering this full build guide because it has a lot of unique spells to it, and with this we get ourselves the Flurry of Blows using Cursed Energy and a bonus action to punch twice in quick succession. So this kind of combines some spells that you would unique spells alongside the abilities that the monk gets to give a very fun to play class. So we get the unarmored defense adding wisdom modifier to armor class. We also get the dexterous attacks allowing us to use dexterity instead of strength for our attacks. And then we also get the unarmed attacks dealing 1d4 bludgeoning damage, and also the unarmed strike allowing us to do another attack as a bonus action. So with our ability scores, we're going to go with 16 dex, 14 constitution, 10 intelligence, 16 wisdom, and 10 charisma. This is going to give us the best armor class values. You can put higher points into strength, but that'll lower our armor class and initiative. And we can also always just use a strength potion to make this even stronger. So I'll be going through the full build guide to show you guys how to make the most out of this, as well as showing off gear from the base game. And then on top of that, showing off some combat. So at level 2, we get ourselves the class feature increasing our movement speed by 3 meters. And then once we get to level 3, this lets when we get to choose our subclass. And I previously done a limitless build. I'll link that in the description as well as in the comments. We're going Shrine this time. So the Shrine technique allows you to unleash invisible slashes either at range or through physical contact to cut down your enemies. So we get the Dismantle doing 2d6 plus 6 slashing damage using an action and a cursed energy. We get the Cleave, a slashing attack that adjusts itself depending on the target's toughness to cut them down. Then we have the Flurry of Blows, Push, Dagger, and Topple. And as we continue to level up, we'll get some domain expansion abilities. So we get ourselves resistance of fall damage at level 4. We also get ourselves the Cursed Energy Reinforcement. So reinforce your body using Cursed Energy, enhancing both your offensive and defensive capability. And then we also get ourselves the Ignore Resistance. So whenever we deal slashing damage, we do a minimum of 6 damage and we ignore any resistances to slashing. We also get the Dismantle attack, Hamstrung. So this will reduce target's movement speed by upwards of 50%. The 3d6 plus 4 slashing. We get the Dismantle Zone doing 2d8 slashing. And then we also get ourselves Shrine Teleport, which basically Misty Step as a bonus action. And we also get ourselves an ability score improvement, so we'll boost up our dexterity or wisdom for better armor class. Once we get to level 5, we get the extra attack, and whenever we land a critical hit, we roll 3 extra damage die as well as a normal additional critical damage die, which gives us a huge damage boost. And we want to hit criticals as much as possible, obviously, if we get 3 more damage die. At level 6, we get increased movement speed by 4.5 whenever we don't wear a shield or armor. And we can overcome resistance and immunity to any physical damages. We also get ourselves a reverse curse technique, which gives us 18 healing using 2 cursed energy. And we get the heal ally for 18, similar effect there. Dismantle Disarm, which can knock enemies' weapons out of their hand. Dismantle Blind, which can blind the target. Zone Blind, which can alter dismantle to blind multiple targets, and then also Teleport +1, move at blinding speed to pairs that you and an ally have teleport to a new place in time. So it's a bonus action as well. And we get ourselves another ability score improvement, so we'll go with a boost to our dexterity here. So pretty nice effect there. At level 7, we get evasion, so we take half damage on a successful we take no damage on a successful dexterity saving throw and half damage if we fail it. So just straight up taking less damage overall. At level 8, we get ourselves Shrine Force Tunnel, which is 3d8 plus 2 force damage, charging forward and pushing all creatures in your path 9 meters away from you. And we get ourselves another feat at level 8. So at this point, we'll take up our wisdom to 18 there as we max out our dexterity. At level 9, we get an improved advanced art in our movement, so difficult terrain won't slow us down. And we can jump 6 meters extra. And we can become immune to the effects of a domain expansion for 4 turns. And we also get subclass features, improved resistance. So our slashing damage will always do a minimum of 12 damage. We also get Divine Flame Fuga, which is 10d4 plus 30 fire damage. And this technique can only be used after you perform Dismantle and Cleave. And we also get Dismantle Zone Disarm, which can disarm multiple targets at a time. Pretty strong, as you can imagine. At level 10, we get ourselves increased movement speed by 6 meters, and just more movement speed the better. At level 11, we get the Domain Caster, so construct a barrier infused with your innate curse technique. When a domain expansion, use the curse techniques that are activated, guaranteed to hit. And we get ourselves the Malevolent Shrine. 6d6 slashing. Everything within the domain is relentlessly slashed with either dismantle or cleave for 10 turns. This is a ability that uses 4 cursed energy, and you can apply that to the ground. And once we make our level 12, we can turn off our domain amplification so we can use our innate techniques. We also get ourselves the Restore Domain, which can give us 12 healing, allow us to bypass the daily limit of domain expansion and cast it again. Domain amplification protects you from domain's expansion and bypass limitless technique infinity. And then we also get the actions, the Divine Flames Fuga, 20d6 plus 40 fire damage. And you must have cast both Cleave and Dismantle within the past 5 turns while inside your domain to use this. And then with this slash that cuts the world, perform a chance so you can activate Dismantle, cut the world. And then with that, after casting as an action as a bonus action, we can next cast this, which does 10d10 plus 100 slashing damage. Enhance Dismantle by extending it to a target area to the world itself. We must complete the chance slash that cuts the world before activating this. Applies bleeding for 10 turns. And yeah, this becomes very strong. We can go with the alert for a +5 to our initiative. However, we can also go with the Tavern Brawler, so this will give our unarmed strikes a much greater damage. And you can also set your Constitution to 15 if that's the case. It'll bump it up to 16. Or we can also use the Constitution Amulet to give yourself more health. So what this ends up looking like for our armor. So for the boots, I got evasive shoes on for better armor class, putting our armor class to 25 here. However, the boots of Inhibited Kishibugo can give us our additional damage equal to a wisdom modifier for a +4 to our damage, or +5 if we went fit to 20 wisdom. Giving us a nice boost to our overall damage, so you can go that route as well. And we're going with the, obviously, the gloves of soul catching. These are great. There's a lot of gloves that you can get early on in the game. Go with whatever one is best for you or the easiest one to find. This will also give us +2 to Constitution and give us 10 healing per turn and additional 1d10 force damage. There's a lot of gloves that add additional damage on your punches. Again, take the one that you found earliest. And then we also got ourselves Vest of Soul Rejuvenation. Whenever you succeed on a saving throw, you get 1 to 4 health points. And if someone attacks us and misses, we can punch them in the face. Then we get a +2 to our armor class. Cloak of Protection also increases armor class, and the Mask of Soul Perception gives us a +2 to attack rolls, initiative, and perception. If you want with the Dark Urge, you can use the Deathstalker Mantle to turn yourself invisible. So that is another option here, and it kind of fits alongside this theme. One with the Amulet of Greater Health for increased health, and then we also go with Critical Hit, the Killer Sweetheart for that free crit, because the extra 3 damage die is huge, and the Ring of Protection for plus armor class, and this will give us +3 initiative with the Hellrider Longbow. So this actually is pretty strong. Now I'll show off what it ends up looking like here in actual combat. So we have 32 cursed energy to work with, and we can do a few different attacks to start things off. We want to always use our cleave whenever possible, because that can set up some of our more powerful attacks. Some of the attacks do require us to do some of our others, like dismantle or cleave. We can also drop down the domain expansion here, which is going to be pretty strong. So that is another consideration we can also go with there to set up, and yeah, that does a lot of damage overall. So we'll just get right into the fight here, and that's our domain expansion there, so we can hide out in that. And with this, we also got our like dismantle zone disarm, so we can disarm a group of targets. If we're able to line these up perfectly, this can actually be very strong. We also got ourselves bonus action attacks too. We got ourselves cleave, which we can do to a single target. Dismantle zone, which we can hit multiple targets with as well. And we also got like bonus action teleports. We also got ourselves this slash that cuts the world, which is an action, a bonus action, and then once you got that, you can use the dismantle slash that cuts the world. I guess we'll show that off because that's a really strong one. So this one is going to use up our action and bonus action first, and then it allows us to cast this, which I guess I probably should have lined this up a little bit better. We'll try to find a perfect path to hit as many targets as possible with this, and this is going to be very brutal of an attack, so we'll go with that. And yes, we'll just go with the critical hit version of it. Yeah, 200 damage, 150. That missed that target. Everyone that got hit by that got hurt really hard. So then we can just end our turn here as we're going to be invisible. So pretty good. And then they're going to continue to take slashing damage each turn inside of this. And it's also going to blind them. So this is perfect. I guess we're invisible too, which makes this even better. We're not really blinded. It's just they're running around taking damage. And hopefully the others will run inside of this as well. And they got the detecting presence. We saved on it, which lets us leave combat so that we can go ahead and re-attack. So then from that, we can just go with our zone dismantle here. So this will further set up combat, get right back into things, and then let us go ahead. We have a high initiative, so we get to go first. And yeah, we got the flurry of blows attacks too, which are really strong, but we want to be using our domain expansion here, Malevolent Strike, as much as possible. Unfortunately, a lot of them left this domain, so what we want to do is attack and then try to pull them back into it. But we also have lots of flurry of blow attacks, which will hit very hard, and we can also just do normal punches. Now, we do have to do dismantle and cleave to be able to use our other attacks. We'll just go with I guess a cleave attack here, and I'll just move into position, and we'll go with our cleave. So boom, The cleave is casted. That's perfect. And then we can go ahead with our next attack here. We don't have an action to use dismantle, unfortunately, but we do got our flurry of blows, so we can use these. And you'd want to use one of the staggered ones because these will hit harder and have an extra effect on them. So that's perfect because every time you use that, you're basically going to take them out, and then you can run away into your domain expansion here and let them come after you. We can also heal ourselves with a soul snare, but we want to try and kite them into here if at all possible, because this is going to give us a ton of damage on them every single turn. So you do have to succeed on the constitution saving throws to hold this concentration. And we've got a lot of range targets here, but any melee target's going to have to run into this, and you can see they're starting to take the damage from it. So this is good because this will also break their concentration, and we're getting chased down to yeah, they leave it too because the AI does not like to take extra damage if they don't need to. So they're just going to continually attack us. We'll hopefully hold our concentration well on this and hope that they keep taking damage from that. So yeah, the domain expansion is really the biggest part of our kit, and we want to always have that up if all possible, just because the large zone that it occupies can just deal a ton of damage for us. So next we go with our dismantle zone here. Now with this dismantle, this will let us then cast this attack, but we have to have both the shrine and the cleave done first. So we'll go here, we'll do our shrine, our cleave, and we're at a bonus action, so unfortunately can't do that, but let's go with a flurry of blows to finish this target off here. It hits hard, 48-29, big damage. And then we can always just heal ourselves with that soul snare, so that's really nice, free heal. And then we can envelop ourselves in our own domain, protecting you from domain expansion. So we can go ahead with this here just to protect us, the domain amplification. And we'll just chill out here in this as they hopefully will continually come towards us. It seems like they want to use range attacks. We are holding our concentration very well, so hopefully they'll come towards us. Yeah, there we go. They're starting to move towards us. We could have also ran away or misty stepped farther back so that they would have to force themselves through this domain expansion. But you can see some of them are making their way inwards and taking the damage, and it's slashing damage, which we ignore resistances to. So that's pretty good. I guess we got ourselves a Divine Flame Fuga here. So we can hit this on a single target. Unfortunately, it does not have a very large range. It's just melee range. But we also have the shrine tunnel, so we can forcibly push ourselves through here. Most of our attacks are quite close range, so that is unfortunate, but we can also, I guess, go with this here to further enhance ourselves. So we'll go with that. This will give us the +2 armor class, reduce all damage you take by 15, and +1 to attack rolls, and unarmed attacks are re-rolled and use your highest damage die. So then we just go in and punch them with our attacks there. Grasp essence too, so that gives us that heal, which is really nice. So we'll just apply that heal right now, and then just punch again. We use our bonus action, which is going to have our more powerful punch attacks. But yeah, you can see there we also have a lot of different effects that we can apply. I guess we'll drop this down. I hope this doesn't mind break us, and we'll drop this. Yeah, we did mind break ourselves, but that fire attack took them all out, so that actually worked out very well in our favor. Yeah, and I guess we just got ourselves into another combat encounter, so that's fine. But yeah, you can see the Divine Flames Fuga. It's melee, but it has a huge radius. I was a little bit apprehensive to use it there, but you can see it's very strong. So I'm tempted to use the enchant that slashes the or cuts the world again, but we don't have that extra action from haste. So it's probably best for us to just go with our just regular old punches. So I'll just go and punch this target here, because those do a lot of damage, as you can see. And then I'll go ahead here with another punch against this target. Hopefully that'll take them out. It didn't, but that was still good enough damage, and we'll finish them off there. So an arm strike, we get ourselves that free heal again, so we'll apply that, and then 2 targets remain, so we'll let them come after us. Don't have our domain expansion up because that left whenever we broke our concentration, but that's something you always want to have up, just because the damage potential that it drops is pretty crazy. But that's a cool ability. You don't normally get the ability to cast haste or cast the chant that cuts the world here and then apply your slash that cuts the world, because typically you don't have 2 actions, but if you do, that can be pretty strong. I guess we got ourselves the domain expansion again here, so we could go ahead with this. It's not letting me cast it. I think it's a once per day spell, so yeah, that's unfortunate, but we can just, again, punches are our best friend. So this target here is the one we want to remove, so we're going to use our bonus action extra attack. That took them out perfectly. And then we can finally finish off this final target here with another punch. Boom. So that is the Sukuna Jujutsu Kaisen build guide in Baldur's Gate 3. This is actually just like the base game body tattoo. I found it worked good enough. And I also went with this is Tav's hair salon, but there's some other hairstyles you could go with that are probably more accurate than this one. I was just trying to find one that looked decent enough. But yeah, this is a mod made by Harpsy22. Really great, especially if you're a fan of the anime. So I've covered some previous anime builds. I did the solo leveling build guide yesterday, and I've done a Naruto one in the past, and I've done many more. So let me know what you want to see next. Hit the subscribe button below if you haven't already, and I'll see you all in the next video.